Denmark is in a state of high alert, preparing for a possible war with Norway. King Hamlet was recently killed, and King Claudius, his brother, is the new ruler. He has married the former king's wife, Queen Gertrude, the mother of Hamlet. Hamlet mourns his father's recent death and cannot understand the sudden remarriage of his mother only 2 months after his father's death. Hamlet suspects that his uncle, King Claudius, is responsible for the murder of his father. A ghost appears, first seen by Horatio, then by Hamlet. The details of the murder are revealed. The Lord Chamberlain of the court, Polonius, is the father of Laertes and Ophelia. Both Polonius and Laertes warn Ophelia about falling in love with young Hamlet due to his apparent madness and his obsession with his father's death. Hamlet, who is still in love with Ophelia, is now suspect of all women because he is so outraged by his mother Gertrude's marrying his uncle, King Claudius, whom the ghost describes as murdering his father, King Hamlet. Hamlet finds actors to reenact in a play for the court the murder with details of exactly how King Hamlet was poisoned. This is so shocking for King Claudius and Queen Gertrude that they stop the play and disperse the court. Queen Gertrude summons Hamlet to her chamber to chide him for this horrible presentation. But Hamlet is enraged and prepared to kill the king in his chamber, but moves on to his mother's with the intention of making her stop being with Claudius and to repent. Polonius, hiding behind a drapery in the room, is inadvertently killed by Hamlet, who believes that Claudius is there. The ghost of King Hamlet appears, telling Hamlet to be kind and not to blame his mother. Then Hamlet shames and convinces Queen Gertrude, who agrees to stop living with King Claudius, beginning her redemption. The death of her father, Polonius, causes Ophelia to become mad from grief. She is accidentally drowned.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And, dear sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor, hold it but a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature. Forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Think it no more. For nature, crescent, does not grow alone in thews and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor cattle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own. He himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. For on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state, and, therefore, must his choice be circumscribed. unto the voice, and yielding to that body whereof he is the head. Then, if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he, in his particular act and place, may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. But you must fear, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariest maid is prodigal enough if she unmask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself escapes not calumnious strokes. The canker galls the infants of the spring too oft before their buttons be disclosed. Virtue itself escapes not calumnious strokes. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles, like a puffed and reckless libertine himself, the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long. But here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and downjived to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad with thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus over his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head thus over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went, without their helps, and to the last bent their light on me.
Come, go with me. I shall seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven which does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord. But, as you did command, I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to wreck thee. But beshrew my jealousy. Come, go we to the king. Come.
Pourquoi tarder encore et laisser fuir le temps? Hélas, que tu maintenant, ô mon père?
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and, by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. Sleep. Sleep. Perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus make with a bare body? Who would Ferdles bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed long to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them, words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord,
Are you fair?
what means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye. Truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you. Once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so!
You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock that we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived!
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are arrant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in Zone's house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens!
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Heavenly powers restore him.
I have heard of your paintings too well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. I'll know or have more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go!
Oh. What a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh! Woe is me! You have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
Mother!
Oh,
Mother!
warrant you,
Mother!
I will fear me not withdraw. I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thy father thou hast much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you speak with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down.
Oh.
You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost
What
part
wilt
of
thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help, help, ho!
What ho? Help, help, help.
How now? A rat? Dead for a ducat. Dead!
Oh, I am slain.
Oh me. Oh me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother?
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace! Sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stone.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths. Oh, such a deed as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow o'er the solidity and compound mass which tristful visage, as against the doom, is thought sick at the act.
Aye, what act that roars and thunders so loud in the index?
Look here upon this picture and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers.
Oh,
See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband! Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Oh, shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Speak no more. My eyes, you have made me see my eyes into my soul, and there I see such black and grated spots. I know not the tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty of a...
Oh, Hamlet, no more.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord. A vice of kings, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
King of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide that, lapsed in time and passion, lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say,
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
how is it with you, lady?
And how is it with you that you bend your eye on vacancy and with the incorporeal air do discourse, oh, gentle Hamlet, the flame and heat of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience, oh, gentle Hamlet, whereon do you look?
On him. On him, look you, how pale he glares. His form and cause, conjoined preaching to stones, would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears, perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all. That's all I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there! Look how it steals away, my father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out at the portal.
Hamlet. Hamlet. This bodily creation is ecstasy cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past.
Oh, no more, no more. Speak no more. Speak no more. What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue at me? What have I done?
Have I cleft thy heart in twain?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
throw away the worser part of it
Yes.
and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Each wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers make you to ravel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be assured, these words are breath, and breath is life. I have no life, what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
I know. 'Tis a consummation.
There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Good night, mother.
I will not speak with her. She speaks much of her father. Speaks. He says there are tricks of the world and hems and beats at her heart. She says things in doubt that carry but half weight. Half weight. The words she speaks like someone not aware of her own distress. Oh. Her silence, her words mean nothing, but lead they move the people to distraction. And they aim at it and they botch up her words to fit their own thoughts, which her nods and winks and gestures yield them indeed. One might think there might be thought, though there is nothing, yet much unhappily. Well, let it come in to my sick soul, as true nature's sin is. Each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. Artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one by his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon?
Ophelia, what imports this song?
Say you, nay pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf and at his heels a stone. Oh ho!
No.
Pray
Nay,
you mark.
Nay, Ophelia.
Pray you mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow, larded all with sweet flowers, which be wept to the ground, did not go with true love showers. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know not what we are, but only what we may be. God be at your table. Pray you, let's have no more words of my father. But when they ask you this, when they ask you what it means, tell them, tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and up the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid ne'er departed more. Indeed, without an oath I'll make an end on it. By Jesus and by St. Charity, a lack and five for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth he, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hast not come to my bed. I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Where is my father?
Dead, but not by the king.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father. How now, what noise is that? Oh, heat, dry up my brains. tears, 7 times salt, burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heavens, thy madness shall be paid by weight, till our scale turn the beam. Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh heavens, is it possible? Such a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life. Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey nonny, nonny, hey nonny. And in his grave reigned many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing a down, and you call him a down. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole the master's daughter.
This nothing's more than matter.
Here's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there is pansies. That's for thoughts.
A documented madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines. Oh. There's rue for you, and some for me. We may call it herb grace o' Sundays. You must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thoughts and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will ne'er come again. His beard was white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, he is gone. And we, cast away, moan. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God, God be with ye.
Do you see this, O God?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
drowned. Oh. Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, who shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream, and there she came with fantastic garlands of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds often give a grosser name. But our maids, our cold maids, do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant bough, her coronet weeds, clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke. And down, her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, like one unable to understand, or like a creature native endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas. Then she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. And therefore do I forbid my tears. But it is our trick. Nature her customs hold, let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lady. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze. But yet this folly doubts it.
King Claudius explains to Laertes that Hamlet has killed his father, Polonius. Deciding that they have a common enemy, they plot Hamlet's death at a fencing match to be arranged between Laertes and Hamlet. As a stopgap measure, the king has also planned to offer Hamlet poisoned wine if the fencing match fails to kill him. Back at the castle, Hamlet and Laertes fight with rapiers. Laertes wounds Hamlet with his poisoned blade. In the ensuing scuffle, the swords are switched, and Laertes is wounded by his own poisoned blade. While dying, Laertes reveals the king's plot to kill Hamlet. Hamlet then forces the king to drink his own poison and stabs him with the poisoned sword. By mistake, Queen Gertrude also drinks from the poisoned cup. As Laertes lies dying, he forgives Hamlet, and Hamlet staggers to his dying mother, Queen Gertrude, and dies in her arms. So ends this tragic tale of deceit, drama, murder, revenge, and skullduggery.
Enfin, dissipe la tristesse qui pèse sur mon cœur. À moi les rêves de l'ivresse et le rire mon cœur. Ô liqueur chanteresse, verse l'ivresse et l'oubli dans mon cœur. Douce liqueur, ô liqueur chanteresse, verse l'ivresse dans mon cœur. Ô liqueur chanteresse, verse l'ivresse et l'oubli dans mon cœur. Enfin, dissipe la tristesse qui pèse sur mon cœur. À moi les rêves de l'ivresse et le rire mon cœur. Ô liqueur, ô chanteresse, verse l'ivresse et